Let's talk about the quarterback competition as a whole. Everybody wants to talk about it over the weekend. People, Diana Rossini saying, "Oh, there's not a real quarterback competition." Everybody's talking to Caboli said there's almost 100% chance that Russell Wilson plays this season and Justin Fields does not. It's June. It's June 3rd. Do we think there's a quarterback competition where we sit right now? And I think the bigger question is, do we think that there's a quarterback competition come July when we get to Latrobe, when training camp's a real thing, and when we see these guys in full pads and they're really starting to gear up for the season?
Yeah, so I have a little bit of a theory that they will not try to force a quarterback competition, but they will maybe make one where there is not at some point in training camp, just to kind of see how both the guys respond.
Okay.
I don't think there will ever be a serious push from Justin Fields to take Russell Wilson's starting job. I just think Russ is the safer option. Russ is the veteran, more reliable. I think he fits really well in the offense, and I think they're very dead set on him being their starter, at least for week one. But I think they're gonna do what Mike Tomlin said. They're gonna give Justin Fields a chance to show what he's got. And I think we're gonna go through the rest of OTAs, and it's gonna be pretty clear that Russell Wilson, is the better guy, the better option. I think that's gonna be pretty apparent, just as I would say through the first 2 weeks. But I think once we get to Latrobe, there's gonna be a day or two where Justin Fields is taking some more first team reps, where he is a bigger part of that starting offense and does get a chance to see what he can do with George and Pat Freiermuth and Najee and Jalen and a first team offensive line. Whether those couple days actually lead anywhere is an open question. I don't really think they will, but I think they do want to see what Justin can do in the starting offense, do it with all that personnel and see if there's any kind of spark there. But I don't think there's going to be any meaningful competition. I think this is Russ's job to lose. There'll only be a competition if Russ does not look like a starter at all. I guess I would say.
Yeah, I like that theory. I like that they will try to push these guys because I think that works both ways. Like, yeah, it gives our Justin some confidence and the ability to kind of see what he has. And I think that's very important for the Pittsburgh Steelers to go into the season with some understanding of what they have as the future option of their quarterback position. That's what you want if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the only way to get that is to give Justin meaningful reps at certain times. Like, you could say, oh, well, he'll get quarterback reps and starting reps during the preseason. Kenny Pickett looked good in the preseason. Everybody looks good in the preseason. It's hard not to look good in the preseason. I mean, you could go back. Every quarterback looks good in the preseason. You want those reps in training camp. You want those reps when TJ Watt's running at you. You want those reps when Joey Porter Jr. is the corner that you have to throw against and Minka's out there. And that's where you want those reps. I think you could give those to Justin and feel confident that he could grow without, like you said, making it a real quarterback competition. Just kind of see what you have in this guy and hope for the best. And meanwhile, it does, I think it's twofold. It allows Russ to have confidence that he is the job and then kind of boost that confidence that maybe he won the job, because I think that's important right now. You could talk about Russ as a veteran, but it doesn't matter. Like, Russ is coming off of some tough years in the NFL, and everything you can do to boost this guy's confidence is going to be significant. So you have to look at it and say that if you can do that, and this is a twofold win, I think that works out very well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think I agree with you. I don't think that they will make it a real competition, but I do think that they will start to split reps a little bit more evenly come Latrobe. Not for the entire circuit of training camp, but just from time to time. You'll see it every couple of days where Justin Fields will take first team reps over Russ, just like, Kenny and Mason did from time to time. And Justin will work 2-minute drills from time to time when Russ was primarily working the 2-minute drills. You'll see that kind of stuff. It won't be real, but it'll boost the confidence. And at the same time, it does a lot for, you go into the season for some reason, whether it's injury or whatever, you have to make a change. You give him reps with guys like George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth and et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to mean anything, but man, we're going to talk about it when it does
all
happen.
The time. It's never going to be off the air.
Right. It is going to be the biggest story especially for the Steelers, but maybe even around the league too. There's going to be so many quarterback competition headlines, question mark. And it's going to be a fun time when those headlines come out and we got to be like, but maybe not.
Yeah. No, I've already been told. I've had conversations with Sports Illustrated and the NFL director there and everything, kind of game planning for training camp. They wanted me to start in OTAs, and I said I can't do that. This way too early. I got things to do, man. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
I'll be tracking every single pass because sometimes you just got to do what you're told to do, and what I was told to do was track every single pass that Justin Fields and Russell Wilson make. And the last time I did that was the Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett year. And it's fun for like a week. Like you're sitting there, you're like, all right, this is awesome. You're seeing how these guys really compete and who's having better days and so on and so forth. By the end of training camp, you're like, all right, dude, Justin Fields went 17 for 18 and Russell Wilson went 20 for 23 and they both threw a touchdown, and who cares? Like, we know who the starting quarterback is. Either way, it will make every single headline. It will be on your ESPN and your NFL Network and your everywhere else every single day. All Steelers talk. We'll hopefully be a little bit more realistic about the situation, but I think that's what helps when you're actually on the field and boots on the ground in Latrobe.